America see how it works.
What show was that?
Pokemon.
Pokemon with the flashlight.
You know how like in Japan they get it first because they made it in Japan, but all the kids like I guess like the first two episodes, the kids was all the kids in Japan who were watching the show had a seizure.
God
It
damn.
was all the
They did them
bright
like
and
that?
bright lights. So that's why when you watch Pokemon, it gets dark when Pikachu does his like theme or whatever. It's because of that.
The movies warn you too, though. You know, when you're watching a movie, it'll let you know if it's gonna have flashing lights in the movie. It tells you that in the little credits. It lets you know that this movie has flashing lights and it may cause all type. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah.
So you know what that shit does to your mental, man. You know, but if they can make $1, they don't care.
Hey man, I got some. Hey man, I got some. Yo, I got a good kickoff one today, guys. I got a good kickoff.
All right, well, we streaming. We already streaming. Y'all want to jump right in?
Yeah.
It's another Wednesday. Y'all already know. What is it? We back.
Introduction now.
Oh, yeah.
Introduction.
You already know what it is, Flocks. Get the books, Elusive Perspective, and Dark Conspiracies. We got King Arthur in the building. What's going on with you, bro? You in the club?
Unified drive or personal responsibility to take something. Look, fuck you. I'm the LED man. I'm gonna say this motherfucking light.
No, I had to think about what it is that you have on the market. So hey, look.
You know, it is a spell. Because when I'm out, my only competition is bulbs. And like you said, that's a natural light reflector, right? But when they see the LED lights, Frank can tell you, shit get crazy.
Yeah, I know.
They be fiending for that
You
shit.
know it's crazy. You know it's crazy. In Dallas, they got giant warehouse stores with just LED light shit.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy. LEDs were literally made to be more condensed to not use any type of other fluorescence without having to use the minimal amount of electricity.
And it's supposed to save you energy. And the power bills never move.
Nope, not no more. No more. No. They got to charge. They had to change the metrics. They had to change the metrics.
The street lights is LED lights.
Yeah. That's how you know that. That's how you know it's all a game right there.
They told us the bill's supposed to come down. Nope, that shit ain't happening. That shit going up.
They changed the metrics for it. The metrics are different. That's why our bills are higher, even though everything is energy efficient.
We starting early.
Man, we back.
What black pills we got for the people today? We starting early.
Oh, I gotta go.
Let's give the people some nightmares to go to bed too.
The slang term black pill
I was thinking some
refers to a
Epstein stuff. They had the videos that they were putting out slowly still, and one of them in the interview he did with Steve Bannon, he said this, and I'd love to get y'all opinion on this. He said that the reason why society has stunted and we haven't done anything interesting, I'm guessing he's saying he believes, or his whatever, like conglomerate believes, that it's because we model everything based off of our science and math. So he didn't elaborate beyond that. But the only other option I could think is like the occult or like things that you don't like we don't know about. We know we talked last week about like not having like there might be something that they exclude from the Bible that might fuck us, that might either help us or fuck us up or like whatever, and they pull it out so that we don't do as a.
They pulled out the fasting verse. There's a fasting verse like Timothy 21 or some shit. I don't fucking know. But there's a verse missing where it tells you fasting is the way to get rid of disease or whatever. But yeah.
So then like for him to say that, it made me think like, so is that true? Like maybe there is a plateau to how much we can figure out at any given time or space. Like 100 years ago, you couldn't make a cell phone. It's just it would be impossible. You couldn't. Like maybe it's more like that, and then like science is kind of there's nothing we can do about this. So, but maybe there is something about drinking blood or like believing in this God or like not knowing these things. Like I wonder if like what do y'all think about something?
Hey, hold up.
What do you mean he meant by the third thing?
Someone said they can't hear you. Will Tim said he can't hear you.
Oh.
But we can hear you, which is weird.
Oh damn, that's crazy. Yeah, check it on your end. Hold on, let me check one of these apps. Make sure I don't got no Apple.
And you gotta say all that shit again too.
We can hear you though, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Drop and come back in.
Okay, so I can't. I guess he'd come back in and ask his question again.
But why we waiting on him to come back in? Did y'all see what just happened though?
Hold on, they said everybody said that y'all can y'all someone said everybody's low but me. So hold up. It could be yo. Hold up. Wait, let me check. Yeah, do that. Cause I can hear y'all.
Alright. Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I guess the question is.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we heard you the whole time.
Talk with
Yo.
and Frank.
Yo.
Our shit is on the YouTube. We is kind of low, but I ain't heard the Will say nothing yet since he been back on.
Yo.
Alright, hold on.
Now, yeah, we can hear that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Alright, what about? Alright, check it out.
Yo.
Yeah, you just mad louder than us, Frank. I don't know why.
Hold on, let me go to YouTube. I don't know what. I ain't do nothing. I just got back. I was gone last week.
That's why.
It's something you did.
Government, the juice boxes were in your house.
Hey, you got to run that back. I got something for you, I think.
Oh, okay. Only that.
And bear with it, y'all. Conspiracy fans, man.
While they doing that, man, y'all can check out my I'm growing ginger straight in the kitchen.
Yeah, let's see it.
She growing.
We ain't saying shit.
Yeah, my ginger. I got a whole garden outside though, my guy. Y'all know that I got everything.
Oh yeah, we know you got it. We know you
next week. Next week, yeah, shit. I got over 5,000 seeds. All different types of vegetables and fruit. Yes, I'm dead ass.
Yo, that's what's up. That is what's up, man. I was just talking to somebody about that today.
I'm starting my planting next week.
We about to be on fire already. Look.
Everybody good. All right, we good. So what was the question?
All right,
that
so
whole shit back, Will. Nobody can.
All right. One more fucking time. So I was watching the Epstein, looking up some stuff about Epstein, and one thing he in the interview he did with Steve Bannon. I'm gonna send you the video, Frank. Maybe you can edit that in. But Epstein was saying that the reason why technology and everything, and we haven't done much of anything in the past 100 or so years that have like significant, of major significance, is because we rely on math and science. He didn't elaborate any further, but it made me think like, well, what does that mean? And like, the way my dumbass thinks is like, we would not be able to advance in technology past our time. So 120 years ago, you could not make a cell phone regardless of what you knew. So if you made cell phones in 2026 and went back 100 years ago, you'd have to make the things to make the things to make the things. So it's impossible to manufacture from that time. So maybe what he's talking about is that we've plateaued, but there's other shit that is what's really gonna move you. Like, oh, you worried about math and science, you can't do nothing about that. But when you drink cow blood on a Tuesday, it cures cancer, so you could live an extra 500 years. So all these people who are like believing in this occultist shit is probably like, they know like, oh, this is how you get on.
Oh, we talking about the dark secret society secrets.
So
I mean, I think
the shit that they've been known for eons.
This
they don't want us to know.
So, Frank, I want you to go next because you might be on something too, right? But look, so what I said is, what I was thinking is like I said before, back then we ain't had no choice but to think of shit to do, to make. We needed shit. We had it was so much of a empty canvas, right? For niggas to just make shit. Like the nigga who made the horse and buggy, like it was just a necessity, right? And it was inevitable to happen, right? Like some of the shit is, but also on the same token, like if you did have a next level idea, you had to explain it to everybody, right? Or to your peers. And them niggas was not like voting, right? Because they claim to be, I'm the smartest nigga in my field. And here you come with some preposterous ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, No, dog. Like, are you sure? But you deep down inside, you're right. And so here you go. When I talk about quantum physics, right, and I talk about the time crystal, it was possibly that thought with a time crystal was talked about early '80s, right? It was just like Will said, we had to manufacture shit. We had to be able to get the telescope to see the small particles, right, or to be able to freeze the fucking quantum computer to even manifest that particular thought. So the thought could have been already, right? And so again, we're just expanding still. Like we on the canvas, like this piece of the canvas, look, is printed. But this other piece, quantum shit, blood drinking shit, right? Breathing underwater for 3 minutes or so, right? Or the nigga going down in the hyperbolic chamber in the ocean or whatever. He was in the ocean for a couple months. They came out, blood was younger, bones were stronger. You know, different shit like that. We ain't even tried to explore because we couldn't go down for that long, right? We couldn't see down that small. We couldn't freeze that cold. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. It's hard to you're not doing this for shits and giggles, man. You're not doing this like
blood for shits and giggles.
Yeah, you're just not like I'm sorry. It's just easier. You get what I'm saying? Like there's other things I could do. Like that's specific. You're someone's pregnant. You got to deal with that. Like you got to deal with the mom. You got to deal with the cops. You got I can get you have unlimited funds, but at some point, the depravity. I mean, I can believe that there's true evil in the world, but it would have to be for a purpose. And science and math doesn't play into it, because if you notice the things it seems like they tend to promote are things that have depravity in it.
No, yeah.
Involving sexuality or
so I
confusion.
Think we live in a dualistic world. So like there's good and bad, you know, black and white, rich and poor. To be in this planet, in its existence, like there's gotta be an on and off. Like you can't be here and you have your bias, you know, and then there's always perception, right? Like the same event could happen to a group of people, and then depending on where you are, what's your perspective, you could have totally different perspective of the event. Some people look at it as bad, some people look at it as good. Case in point, elections. When an election happens, whoever wins, you're gonna piss a group of people off, and other people are gonna be like swearing the fucking world's gonna be, you know, be a better place. So I think it's just, I don't know, there's something about this reality where it's like you have to. There's two sides to every story. There's like there's like the left, the right, and then there's like the overarching view. It's like when you pull yourself out of it, when you pull yourself out of duality, if you have the mindset to, where you can see both points, right, and then pull yourself out and outside looking in, that's kind of more truth than picking a side and like choosing to be on a side or whatever. But the way this reality is built is like perspective, where you are and what you're looking at, and your experience and all, is like it places you in a box to look at the world a certain way. So to these people, doing these things, drinking blood, kidnapping kids, whatever, it's a horrible, evil thing, right? But to them, for whatever reason, whatever their mindset is, whatever their beliefs, they think they're doing something, I don't want to say good, but they think it's okay.
No, but that's the thing though, Frank. There has to be a lot more, like for me and you to have that thought, that has to, before at some point it's gross.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like so I think like the even if you liked it, it would be something you wouldn't say nothing about. Because the majority, you don't want to, no one wants to intentionally be the exile.
Yes, there's, I mean, again, I can't speak for these people. If anybody's watching this and you drink blood,
let's preface this. I don't know these niggas. I'm good.
But
so go ahead, right?
No, I feel like I feel like they're totally raised different from us, right? The 99% or whatever the percentages, their beliefs are different. They're taught different things. They're in secret societies. Their belief system of reality, what their all their entire upbringing is totally, their whole moral, ethical spirit is different than us. You know what I'm saying? Which is why when they do these things, I doubt they feel bad. They feel like it's justified. They got their reasons. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's power, money, whatever the fuck. We don't know, right? Because we're not of that cloth, so to speak. But these people, they know it's shameful. They know the majority ain't fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they're doing it to us. But it's like whatever this reality that they're living or whatever these beliefs are, I promise you, they feel justified. They feel like they have the right. They feel like they're empowered to do it.
Maybe this is the narcissist in me or some shit. I just need to know, like, why. So even if it seems right to you, it's like, bruh, like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, I understand control, but at some point, that is beyond control. I can just say I have more money than you, and I will have someone kill you tomorrow. It's easier to do that than to find a newborn child and eat it. Like,
and scare it to death and drink the blood.
So listen to this right here. Have you ever heard, Hebrew, you might have heard this one. So they said voodoo was evil, right?
No, yeah, I've heard it.
Say, but why? But when people think about voodoo, why they think it's evil, right? Because whoever found out what the fuck the voodoo actually was, I'm keeping this to myself and I'm going to bastardize it. I'm going to, gross it out or whatever, make it unpopular to where, damn, nigga, I just had a motherfucking revelation for y'all ass. Hold on. And so look, they go to Timbuktu. The little nigga go to Timbuktu or the museum, Alexander. He go get the knowledge and do what? He burn it down. I have this information and knowledge now, and so when you think about it or you know about it, it is in a bastardized way. I was reading to my son last night, Carter G. Wilson, The Miseducation of a Negro. We only read about 4 or 5, 8 paragraphs. And in there, he was just saying how niggas was taught to not like niggas. They was taught to dislike everything about themselves. And on the same token, right, the other side was taught to not to try to understand them. Don't try to understand them niggas. Don't try to understand how they move, why they move, when they move, right? Because they are savages, right? And so now the whole playing field is saying, oh, I don't like myself. They don't like me. And the whole time, the power was in the individual himself, right? And so, and then the last point I made, Frank, Nick saying your perspective and seeing stuff differently, right? Quantum mechanics or quantum physics, right? This double split experiment, the observer and the observing, right? Are you observing a particular reality or are you just, moving in it, right? Are you seeing what's going on? Are you witnessing and participating, or are you just moving around unaware, right? That you're being watched by your own self. Y'all get me?
Yeah, but I don't think many people do the latter. I think it's hard. I think people, if you are stuck in the weeds, it's interesting being in this position that we kind of are in. Not being elitist about it, but what I mean by that is that we're able to actually know that we're not free in the sense of being able to do what we want, but like someone like Hiru, the way he thinks that's free. That's free. Like as far as everything you want to think about. But for the most part, people are so engulfed in their day, the right, left, politics, TV, drama, all this other shit, to even start to notice that they're just kind of moving with the wave. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But really what you should be doing.
The first 20 years of my life.
Shit, it's 38 years, man.
Shit happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got influenced by music, movies, whatever the fuck. It was like I didn't wake up to my own, like, that I could make choices for my life deliberately, intentionally, to like I was like 25, 26.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Before I was like, yo, if I want to do this, I could go this route. I could make these moves. I could do this thing. I could learn how to do this. Before that, I was just going with the flow. Whatever happened to me, is whatever.
Then this is something with that, Frank, too. Once you start to notice that, you start learning that the world really wanted you to stay there.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and then the crazy thing is, once you start to think that the conversations you're having with others that you disagree with are them trying to get you back there. That is the wildest shit. That is the wildest shit. Because I'm not trying to convince you of my point. I'm just trying to tell you my point. You're fighting against my point. I don't give a shit about any of these things for real. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know I have no control. I know my size. I know the grain of saying that we really are in this world scheme of it. You know what I mean? So once you kind of put yourself in there, you kind of are the free one.
No, it's facts. I look at this. Look at the State of the Union yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, crazy work.
Half the country pissed off. The other half, you know, is like, yay, he said the best things. But it's like, you get so engulfed in that. It's like, he said, she said, they yelling at him. Oh, and then they got speeches where they're like, oh, the response, and then everything he said. It's like, it's so divided. It's like, fuck both of that. Fuck both of the sides. Fuck all that noise. Look at it from the top down. It's fucking theater. And when they saying shit to piss the other side off, and like you fall for it, and you come inundated with it, and you get your emotions, and you start hating people, like, you know, your fellow man in the country, like you hate them because they're on the other side. It's like, bro, it's theater, and they're wrestlers, and they're going up there and they're doing their play and they're doing their act, and you watching and you observing the play, and you falling in line with beliefs and you know, all these things, and it's like. And for what? That's part of the NPC shit. Like what I was talking about, like 25, 26 years. Like you live in your life. You're divided like sheep, like shepherd. Like they shepherd you into a box, and then you're there, and then you believe all these things, and like the other people are the enemy, and like your side.
This is why I'll forever.
This is why I'll forever. What the fuck they talking about? They want to destroy the world. And
this is why I'll be retarded forever. This is why I will be retarded forever. Why? 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 This is the craziest thing, because this is the biggest game of whatever the fuck this is, because for all those things to happen, aliens, whatever, like, and you're watching in real time now. They talking about aliens, they talking about Iran, they talk about spies in Norway. You know, what the fuck with Mexico's on fire? Bruh, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's so crazy, like, to hear people. It's funny seeing how everybody's trying to get accolades for being a conspiracy theorist for whatever time we've been. Like, everybody's always had questions. That is the dumbest argument.
Shit when nobody was trying to hear that shit.
But I think any person who starts stepping out the box, that's you're headed there some way. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna ask the question like, why is the Kennedy assassination a big deal? Oh, really? What? Yeah. You know. So once you know that.
The plan won't for you to learn the English language. You got to know that. Okay, so when the people came here, it was not in the plan for you to learn their language. You stumbled upon it because they were here and they had no choice but to feed you their language. I told you flop from the beginning about this Epstein shit, that nobody was going to jail. I told you the reason why. Now I'm gonna expand on why I say the reason why. Look how many files are in there. They're talking about shit that don't even have nothing to do with what they brought Epstein to the forefront about, pedophilia. Now all the pedophilia is being whitewashed about everything else, because as I'm going through social media, nobody's talking about the pedophilia shit. They're talking about everything else that's in these files. Distractions to push that all the way out the goddamn way. So now we're talking about everything else that they done added to this shit. That shit has nothing to do with what y'all brought to us. Why are we talking about that shit? Y'all, we talking about some shit that I've been talking about for the last 6-7 years. How many times I got on here and told you about these niggas drinking blood? Trying to get down. I've been saying this shit for the longest. Bullshit. Now we done got a spinoff. Here we go with this spinoff to talk about everything else other than what we supposed to have been originally talking about, which was the pedophilia that was going on these islands, the people that's guilty of all the shit that goes on in there, because your favorite politician is on that flight list. Your favorite star, celebrity, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Man, but that's the thing. I think there's some real shit here, man. Like with this occultist shit, we have idols. Like, people idolize these people. In most countries, it's illegal to idolize people. So what was the big thing with gods. Gods wanted to be praised. It was like a big thing to be praised, prayed to, blah, 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 whatever it is. So when now we idolize people, and maybe the reason people won't go to jail here is because that's the point. The point is to idolize them because there's maybe there's some value in having that type of power.
It is. You know, the people that write the laws is not going to lock themselves up. The people that govern us don't govern themselves. They run this shit. So you see how the pendulum swing. You see how it goes. You get what I'm saying? These people run the world. This is what they implement. This is what they have going on. They're going to continue to do it because there's nobody to stop them. We can't stop the missing children. You know, I speak about that shit heavily all the time because it bothers me. But y'all want to put a stop to each and everything that was going on, but y'all can't stop this amount of children from going missing.
Do y'all think there's a real effort to just be like, fuck you? Like we doing whatever we want. We're not really hiding this shit no more. Like the internet's too big, so fuck you. Because like Hero saying, Hero talks the first podcast he said that I was on, he said started talking about the hundreds of thousands of kids missing. I've always talked about that. That was my big like argument with people when I go out, which is blah blah blah, that hundreds of thousands of kids are missing. That is
I think it's twofold. I think there's a part of them that's like not relief, but they're like, okay, now they know, so fuck it, we still doing it. They know, and they not doing nothing. They not, you know what I'm saying, they're not rioting, they're not attacking the corporate buildings, the DC, like, so they feel like they might be good. Like, okay, well, the information's out, the public knows, we can keep going because nobody's doing nothing. I think there's that type of attitude about it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you believe though? You know, a lot of people ain't gonna believe a lot of the stuff that they put out because they've been putting it out forever. But people don't know how to piece shit together. You know what I'm saying? These people talk about pizza all in your face. Pizza is a pedophile word. Hot dog is a pedophile word, and they use them in their movies, their TV shows, their commercials. You know what I'm saying?
Ninja Turtles.
Killed me with the Ninja Turtles. The goddamn reptiles eating pizza underground. Come on, man.
Bruh, kids,
and it's been going back. So you see how far back this shit goes. These children, like I said, 500,000 go missing a year. The number will increase at the end of 2026. It increases every year. The number never decreases. You get what I'm saying? But these people are running the world, and y'all can't account for that many children going missing. That's a whole fucking damn near civilization. Add it up. Put it together. If none of these children go missing,
in any community, look, a community is a small version of a larger community. If one child goes missing, that community is distraught. The fact that even 2 children, it should be distraught. You talk about hundreds of thousands of different cultures. Then you tell me that Epstein's real and Pizzagate was real. Ooh.
I don't know. I think a lot of people talk about this. We know there's people at the top funding this and doing those things. What about the kidnappers? These are people that are paid that I think are majority like everybody else, crackheads, whatever, you know. They are paid to do this. Like you see videos of kids being snatched in you know, with the parent, like, you know, a crackhead. Like I saw a video the other day of a mom had a child walking out of a store or whatever, and a dude just walked up and grabbed him and tried to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he was coked up or what. Obviously he wasn't assessing the situation. But it's like these people, like, they're doing this, they're getting paid, they're getting compensated for something, and it's like they just doing this. Like, what about these motherfuckers? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a small percentage of them, though.
But I think that when you start, if you really want to go down this type of lane, it has to be the reason why you're not funding police. You're not encouraging that type of stuff. You're encouraging vigilantism. You're encouraging like small community policing groups, because now I can move in whichever way I want. You know what I'm saying? I have so many, like when I have to deal with one police department for one city, for one whatever, that's difficult because that's a uniform understanding of how shit's gonna run. But if little Somalia believes one thing, 14-year-old girl don't mean shit.
That's just
Yeah,
think about this though.
but all
Think
of
about
them,
this though,
all of
Will.
them.
Think about this though. This happens, we lose that many just in the United States. Okay. Now, if we go worldwide, the numbers is even bigger. Okay. It's one word for this whole situation that we're talking about with these missing children. It's population control. If you don't snatch that many children out of each and every area, you will have what you call an overloaded population. You're already complaining about the population now. Now add 500,000 children back to the population, and we ain't even counting the ones that you done sent to the abortion clinic. We ain't even counting them, because if we add those to it, you see what the population looks like. This is something strategically done by design, because they have to keep their population down of what they consider a manageable number. We're already getting to the point where they say we're unmanageable. That's why we got all this AI tech coming around that's going to drive us in the fucking ground. We're not going to be able to move because every person will be accounted for. Understand that. Every person will be accounted for. What kind of control do you need under that type of authority to even have, to even want to know where everybody is at all fucking time? Come on, man, make it make sense.
Surveillance state, yeah.
That shit is beyond surveillance states, because goddamn, that shit is, I mean, literally, you want the population down, and not to mention, they're telling you in social media when they speeches that, listen, we need to get the population down. Gates been talking about this shit for years. We need to get the population down. They want it under 5 billion. We're damn near headed to 9. So what happens to the other part of the people that ain't in your 5 billion? That you're trying to knock the population down. And I don't think people understand how serious that is. I posted numbers from 2016 to 2020, I think 27. The population drops dramatically, man. Understand this. Listen, dramatically. I posted that shit so many times. People don't pay attention to it. It's a reason for that population drop. Now, what happened to these people that's not being accounted for the census in the upcoming years? What has happened? That's why we go back to the conversation when y'all be like, y'all want to agree that life has gotten better for us now.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this, man.
No, I'm just, I ain't trying to get into that.
But
what I'm saying is, because I look at the numbers. I look at the numbers of shit, man. It's you gotta look. You gotta go and look at. You can pull the shit up. I'm gonna send it to everybody after the show. Look at the numbers around the world and how significantly all the numbers have decreased. Now think about this, because now you got to go back past 2016. Populations have not dropped; they have increased. These people saying we need to get rid of this amount of people, and they gave a showing of this shit, a drop down, and that's what they planning to do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's showing.
That shit on my screen too, big as a bitch. I'm like, this nigga take over my screen, man. What you doing, man? Get out my house, man. Damn.
Got the feds in your house. Got the feds in your house, man.
So look, I just asked the question. I was like, man, why is 5 billion an ideal number?
Thank you.
You can read the shit, right? It says balances human needs with biodiversity and resource availability.
They so full of shit.
What number did I give you though, cuz? That let you know I be on my shit. I said 5 billion, right?
So look, they said the shit say much lower. They wanted 1.5 to 2, but they can suffice basically with 5, right? Mm-hmm. And so it'll be sustainable for the sustainable quality of life. As in, we ain't got enough land to house everybody on this bitch right now.
Bro, I don't
believe somebody take this first, because I got a long one on this one.
We can't see everybody at the same time.
What? Yeah, I'm about to remove it. I just want to share that for a second.
Oh, I don't care about being seen. So I got so. This is why they either got to hire me to be like the janitor or something when whatever happens, or like just put a bullet in my head, because this is gonna drive me crazy. What the fuck? Like, what?
That's what I be talking about.
I'm trying to think about how to say it right.
This shit I be talking about.
To have these type of thoughts, that's a lot of jumping, dude. What the fuck?
It's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you
because
why.
It ain't bullshit. What you mean? They doing it. They are fucking doing it. What you mean?
Wherever that simulation came from, this is what I gotta get out. Wherever that simulation came from, how the fuck do you know? We don't know how much land is in this world. We don't know how many. No, how do they know? How would you know that?
They know
estimates, the number.
They know
I'm saying a 5 billion is optimal. I'm saying that's bullshit. Because this world.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm saying even doing any of that. I'm saying coming up with the calculation in general. So I'm saying like, how do you?
So Will, this thing says 1994, nigga. So AI been around. We just now getting our smell of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This shit's in 1994.
Yeah, but I still don't even.
1994 population was roughly about 5 billion or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said it was overpopulated then. Here and the ideal would be one that had the 2, right? Here we are, 3.5 billion people later, and niggas is still on that. Like,
how do you know how much of a problem that's going to be if you do not know how much square footage is in your planet?
They studied this shit.
No. I got a stat for y'all. I got a stat, and I put it in my book, and I looked it up. You can probably look it up. The stat was, you could put it's like 7 billion, 7.5 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
Billion people on this planet can all live on Texas with 1.5 acres of land. In just the state of Texas.
No. It's everybody. It's everybody in the United States. Hold on.
I go find it. I wrote it in there. It's a stat.
It's in the United States. It's not everybody in the world. Hold on. It's everybody in the United States. Everybody that lives in the United States can fit in Texas with a half an acre of land.
And a good dictator. Give me a hive mind and a good dictator.
So, I don't know if it's the planet or America.
No, it might be. Huh? The entire world population is over 8 billion people. Could theoretically fit into Texas, as the state covers over 268,000 square miles. With that many people, each person would have approximately 100 square meters, or roughly 1,000 square feet of space.
Dictator. We could get a dictator.
So with just knowing that, with that stat, you can't tell me not 8 billion people, there's not enough to go around with the 8 billion people, and they're saying we need to bring it down to 5.
I swear to God there is. And if you give me a dictator, like I asked y'all before every podcast now, I need a dictator because you put them all in Texas. God, bro, imagine once you grow to really occupy the country. Oh God, the power.
Will be corrupted.
The power.
There's so much.
They show the statistics on that though. On a dictator of how easily he would be corrupted.
That's what I said.
That's by being that dictator.
That's why I said this first. A hive mind.
Yeah, that shit would have to be
mind.
I would rather be a collective. Listen, honestly, I would rather be a collective of at least 4 to 5 people if it's gonna be in that sense. I don't want that decision in one person's hand because that person is. I don't know what type of situation. It got to be somebody around that can keep him mentally stable with dealing with everything in the world and having to deal with that. Because that's a lot of fucking pressure for one person.
Yeah,
that's why we know the president, he don't run everything.
But that's where you're going. Even as a species, that's where you're going. You're going for uniformity. That's what they're fighting for, to get everything kind of one way. So eventually, evolution gets you this. Fish were at some point a little tiny fucking cell of something that they all got together. At some point, something happened. Blah blah blah, whatever you believe. But regardless of that, like that's what we're all moving forward to is uniformity.
So look,
and that's why I say like the closer you get, like I like the idea of maybe smaller pockets of it, but I do think it does take a collective mind about like that has one purpose that is bigger than generations.
Right. The world. So let me tell you something. The world. There's abundance in this world. You know what I'm saying? There's enough land. There's enough soil to grow crops for everybody. What the issue is the system and the society and the matrix hoarding the resources and keeping it from people and putting a price tag on it that makes it seem like there's not enough to go around. You know what I'm saying? Even with that stat with just putting everybody in Texas, right? You think about the whole rest of the world, if everybody lives in Texas and they have their acre of land, they grow their crops or whatever for themselves, there's so much. This world offers so much for everybody. But again, the powers that be, they get a hold of the resources. You see what they're doing with the farmland. You see what they're doing with crops and foods and all these things. Like they grab the natural resources that people need to survive, and they hoard it, and they bleed it out to you, and then charge you for it, and then do all those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, the world's not out of lacking anything. It's the system constricting all the resources for the people.
But you're right. But the man, it's just only if we knew. But the only way you would be like, the only way you would know about the other people on the other side of the world is because we have the internet and people have traveled, things like that. The goal would be to say everybody meet at this spot and we try to figure it out. But we are so splintered culturally, spiritually, religiously. Like, it's so crazy. Like, you could not. I keep wanting to figure the problem out, Frank, before you ask the question. So
it will. My antennas immediately went to, if anybody ever said, "Hey, hi, entire world, let's go here," I'm not going.
Yeah. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that, government. You almost got me, government. You almost got me.
Not even government. If somebody says the whole entire world is going to meet in this one place, let's get there, bro. How many of you niggas is not, for world peace, for world peace, for love, for humanity, for unity.
Shit, let aliens attack tomorrow. We'll all be in one place.
Even with that, we don't trust each other.
No. You make it.
You believe in an alien, you damn sure don't trust yourself.
Cut that shit out. I know what you about to say. We don't trust each other. We don't trust each other. You seen the movie Fallout? What is it, Fallout or the Day Before Tomorrow? Whatever shit was.
Mm.
When the nigga, he was his best friend, he was his buddy. When he wanted to get some water, get the fuck out of here, boy. Right?
If I told you tomorrow the zombie apocalypse happened and only safe place to be is Texas, every human being in the planet's going to be in Texas. It's all about perspective. And if it ever happens, just remember I said it's going to happen like that.
People ain't going to show up, man. People ain't going to show up. Only thing they on time for they funeral.
People who have kids will. Kids will.
Only thing people on time for is they funeral. That's it.
CNN or Fox News.
That's the only thing.
It don't matter. If tomorrow they give you proof that this, as far as you know, is a threat, and if you don't get to this place, you're gonna die.
Hold on, trigger warning. They gave us proof that COVID was a threat too. So
no. I agree, but I'm saying have y'all heard the conspiracy about like the government trying to do a false flag with aliens?
Yeah,
of course.
Project
Blue Beam, Project Blue Beam and Lockheed. The two names: Project Blue Beam and Lockheed Martin.
There you go. My bad. No disrespect.
We already know
that. New news came out that there will be good white aliens that have been helping humanity and bad gray aliens. Now, what white aliens have they been talking about? Aryan nation just for decades.
The Nordics.
The Nordics, man. It's fucking crazy, man.
That's after the grid, though. That's after the blackout, though, because it's gonna be a performance in the sky, because they'll be able to do it and have you believe in whatever.
And these drones and AI. I know two companies. Their stocks apparently are to be listed in the next 3 or 4 months, and whatever it is they're talking about doing, they're saying that it looks like watching television in the sky.
You have been doing it already.
Now, for the audience, and for the audience. And for the audience,
I need to take this shit off YouTube.
Always remember this. In 1987, there was a movie called Nothing But Trouble. And a man had a car phone with a GPS in it.
Oh, it was in 91. But
there you go. My bad. You're right. 1991. Chevy Chase. Great fucking movie.
Let's take it some years back. 1986. Total Recall. They had the big ass flat screen TV.
Woo!
And the big booty TV.
But here's the thing though. This is the difference. Movies will always show the dream of the future. So whatever they think that you would be able to do, they're going to do it. GPS existed in 1991 for military purposes for the main part. Yeah. So that means the government
go back further than that. It goes back to the pyramid.
No.
We gotta go back to mental.
I bet you it goes back further. But the point was, like, when you're talking about making a skateboard that hovers, you're assuming at some point someone's going to make something. It's different than it existing in the moment. It's different. It's different when you find out later on that when that movie was made, they were talking about something that existed that none of us knew about. And they're making movies.
I'm going to tie this together for you. So earlier I talked about time crystals and how there was a man who thought about it in the early 80s. When I first kind of mentioned it up here, I was talking about the Buzz Lightyear movie, and they were talking about the time crystal, and Buddy was going to space, and he kept coming back. But he couldn't break the time barrier because of the time crystal. When you get the time crystal, you break the time barrier. Well, what you're saying is the thought already exists, right? The application is then, the practicalness of it is being introduced via film, book, right? And then we get flat screen TV, or we get GPS every goddamn where. Let me give y'all an AI stat right quick before we move on. To thrive, one person needs approximately 1 to 5 acres of land to reproduce his own fruits, vegetable, livestock. Right. So I was thinking, how much space does a nigga need to thrive? Right, because an individual only needed, he said, about 200 to 800 square feet. But if I was going to grow my own food, and if I got my own family, 1 to 5 acres is plenty. And again, that's more than enough space on Earth to house every single person a few times over.
Are we trying to figure out socialism? Are we trying to figure out socialism, guys?
No.
Are we trying to figure out how to make a new form of government?
City blocks.
Oh, I can play that.
Just think about that. An acre.
That's a red
herring
argument because people, I know people say that, and I don't agree. I don't agree with that. So that's not socially. Like, if everybody's making their own stuff and you know making their own to survive, that's not necessarily socialism. You know what I'm saying? Socialism is taken from someone else to disperse or whatever the case may be. But that shit, if they take everybody moving to Texas with their own acres and their own land, bro, there's more than enough to go. There's more than enough on this planet right now. It's just being.
But this is the thing though. Have it be strategic on what you're putting where, so it doesn't have to be Texas.
True.
It makes sense for we need salt, so this is this, but there's a central point, not for any gain, yet prosperity for a culture. Mm-hmm. Now, you have to outlaw, these are the hard topics you really got to handle if you even think about this. Religion cannot exist.
If what?
You couldn't put me in a
if you want that, if you want harmony, peace. You have to be able to cultivate logic within people, because you can't leave certain things to faith,
fairy tales,
unless everyone is faithful.
I know that's true though to a degree, because religion separates so hard. Like, you know, they're incompatible lifestyles. Like their beliefs are so different. There's no way to integrate, and I think that's done on purpose. Again, this is a eons old, millennia old system. You know what I'm saying? They've had time to perfect the division that they wanted. How do you do that? Start religions, have pockets of religions here in different parts of the world, have different languages. Like, they've had so much time to separate all the people of the world in different kinds of ways. You know what I'm saying? To where if we all tomorrow decided we want to work together, it'll still be difficult with the things, the conditions that, how we're conditioned. Religion being a huge one. You know what I'm saying? Like how they got the Muslims in the UK, and how they talking about the Muslims in New York, praying in Times Square and shit. That's not compatible. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is Muslim up there. Not everybody's going to be feeling that. You know what I'm saying? But they got, pockets of people trying to move in and do things and all this, and it's just causing all this chaos because it's just incompatibilities.
We leaned I think we leaned our morality too much on our faith. We leaned our morality, like your natural, what you should and should not do, has now been somewhat taken over by your religious belief. So that, like, if you're trying to even govern like a community, it's hard because a Christian's morality means he can do X, Y, and Z. A Muslim's morality means I can do X, Y, and Z. If those counteract in any way, that's okay if in a community, in a house, right? Like in a house, because they fight, we're done, go back in your room, I'll go in my room. You start talking about communities, man, like you're like, we don't talk about it enough, but a lot of things are really brewing that if they get larger, it's huge. Maybe not in our generation, but like going down the pipeline. But like it's what we're learning, I think, is you can't. It's not nice like you want it to be. Like nature, you're going against nature, trying to be like everybody's good. We're all good. I love you. You love me. Can we all be whatever? Oh, you're this, you're that. Like I think that doesn't work to survive. And I think that's what we're finding now.
So let me look at nature. When a motherfucking lion kills a gazelle, the gazelles don't go war with the motherfucking lions. The lions don't go war with the gazelles. I got what I needed from you. Now I'm gone. Right? That's how I look at religions. Like if everybody's minding their own fucking business, right? If you stay in your motherfucking pocket, I don't see whatever you believe in, booty eating, toe feet eating, fetishes, whatever the case may be, it don't bother nobody. Yeah, you may cross a line with a person or two, y'all beef settle, but that don't mean your whole goddamn echelon or whatever got a war. That don't mean that, right? That's how I think about it. Like, nobody care what you believe in. It should be a humanistic thing to say, mind your own fucking business, dog. If you don't agree, shut the fuck up. They're not bothering you. They're not harming you, right? So now when we tie it into the pedophilia, the kids touching, the kids missing, now it should be a collective uproar of what the fuck?
It's crazy because the top religious people agree. If people ain't caught on to that yet, they agree because they all have their agenda and what they're doing. So they agree. Yeah. It's just the ones at the bottom that's following, toe tagging along to this religion, to these different religions that don't know no better, that cause themselves this type of division that they're in. Instead of saying, you know what, he a Muslim, he a Christian, that's what he believes in. All right, he's still my brother. It is what it is. But religion at the bottom doesn't do that. It's a conquer and divide type of mentality when you take on the roles and what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? And people don't understand that. That's why it's more mental than anything. They all still have you believing in mythical people. I don't give a fuck what religion you're in. You get what I'm saying? Every religion has a God. Their God has a name. I don't know why the Christians God don't have a name. They name just God.
I mean, but
it's wild. But it's the class. You get what I'm saying? It's the class. Hold on, Will. You gotta speak to it though, because you gotta think about which one came last. You gotta understand which religion was added at the end. Remember, you only learn English because they allowed you. That wasn't in the plan for you to learn English, so you wouldn't be able to read from their Palm Palette if they never gave you their language. So understand that. So we got to go back to that to understand where we at with it now. You get what I'm saying? We're at the bottom fighting with all of these religions that they have created that they constantly benefit from. Christianity generates $74.5 billion a year.
A year, man. That is the
three products number. They got Jesus, God, and devils. This is what these
you can't know. The Vatican doesn't have to report anything because it's its own country.
74.5 billion a year.
That's how much the Vatican.
It's a business.
No. That's America.
Yeah. And that's the thing about this. And who do you think the biggest contributors are? Who do you think the biggest contributors to that is black and brown people?
So hold on.
No.
It is no. Hold on. What you mean? No. Hold on. Hey, Will. Hold on. Will. One thing I do is I do my stats. Listen, Will. One thing I do is I do my stats. I know who are the heavily invested people that's in this. Then the thing about it is, my people are the most heavily invested, though this religion was given to them by the same people that oppressed them. Help me understand it. You listen. Hold on. You have more white atheists than you have black atheists. These are facts. It's a statistic. You can look this shit.
Hold on, Will. Before you exorcism them out, I'm giving you some stats right quick. Hold on, because I got right.
Oh man.
No, I know he's right. He's right about a lot what he's saying. Me and him never disagree. We just are on like a different. I'm like I'm him like 5-6 years ago. I'm
trying to catch on to this shit.
How much did the church make a year?
74.5 billion.
All right. Well, the Vatican said they only reporting up to 900 mil. So the Vatican, and look, this number so goddamn wide. Listen. They saying 300 to 900 mil annually. That's a huge ass gap of I can do what the fuck ever. Right? Hold on. That's one. And so two, how many black Christians in America versus white Christians? Approximately 75 black African Americans identify as Christians, while roughly 62% of white Americans feel Christian. So while white Christians make up a larger absolute number of 61% of all U.S. Christians, blacks have a higher percentage of religion. So he's saying that of the black community, majority of niggas is Christian. Of the black community, 61% of them is still a majority, right?
I'm not asking you per capita because that's not. We both know that the population different. No, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that overall, I agree with what Hiru's saying to an extent. My thing is that no, I agree. I'll leave it there. I
always tell people, Will, this is what I tell people,
I'm being agreeable, guys.
This is what I tell people, Will. Listen, if your fifth or sixth grandma was standing in front of you right now, you could not have a conversation with her.
No,
you don't speak the language. Okay, so think about this. Think about this. So the language that was hers is no longer here no more, which disconnected you from anything and everything that you once knew. You have been given a whole new identity by a group of people that has oppressed your own people. They gave you the language that you speak. Now, it was once against the law to speak the English language. That lets you know that they didn't want you speaking this shit. Anything that followed as far as religion behind it is suspect. Only because look who it came from. You get what I'm saying? It bothers me that I don't know the language that my fifth and sixth grandmother and grandparents spoke. That bothers me.
Let's take it a step further. It bothers me. I can't see a picture of them people. That really bothers me.
But this is what's key. You knowing those things are why this is important. I had the same proclamation at 32 years old. I recognized I didn't have pictures of my great-great-grandfather. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who his homeboys was. I like, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. And what I started doing was I did that. And then I started making my niggas do that. And I know everybody who knows me is going to be watching this and be like, why is this nigga always talking about pictures? Me and Frank went walking one time, and there's a random picture from like 2012 or some shit of us just randomly walking to Virginia Beach. We start these things. We were beat. I'm not trying to do this again, but guys, we was beaten to this, yes. But we can make better, and we have to be cognizant of that because that's what gets us to a better place.
So look, but I'm gonna disagree with Hiru. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, Hiru, you and your fifth grandma, sixth grandma could have a communication. Why? Because she in your DNA. I wanted to say that, but Will said what he said. Look, she in your DNA. So the understanding between you two is gonna be there.
Meditate. Talk to the ancestors.
Now you know I do the hell out of it.
Well, he's talking about the verbiage.
But you get, what I'm saying is, the language. Listen, what I'm saying is the transfer of the language took everything.
That's what Hiru talking about. Hiru talking about the language.
They did listen. They could have changed your name. They could have called you green. They could have called you purple. Changing your language took everything. That's all they had to do.
Because they
didn't have to do nothing else. Because everything that came behind the language change bears them. You're captive and everything that springs off of it, because look who language you now speaks. So you cannot connect your roots back nowhere.
That's why black people still don't know where we come from. We still saying, well, we come from Africa. No, we was already here in America. We don't know because you can't go no back further than your third grandma.
But it's not even that.
I can't go past
but
my
you
first
know,
grandma.
but
I don't think many people did. I don't think that was
No,
even
no,
a big
no,
idea.
no.
Look back in history. No, go back in history. There's
the people
very
that
few.
listen to what I'm saying is, if you are indigenous to your land and you wasn't enslaved, you know your lineage, man. You know it.
No, I get that.
You get
part.
what I'm saying?
I'm talking
Now,
about
some
the
white
grand
people,
scheme.
now I can't give you that. Some white people don't will because some of my Cabbage Patch Kids came over on fucking trains. So they can't even, and they learning that now. I ain't bullshit. Look at the videos. They trying to find their lineage and they can't. They can't even go past that. They don't got no family.
But that's most societies. Most societies didn't put much value in death because there was an afterlife. So because there's an afterlife, it was left to your family to make your name something beyond that. The church wasn't doing it. The city wasn't doing it. You had to do something just like now to make yourself something worthy to be like learned about. So as far as the remembrance, I'm not big on that. I forgot my train of thought.
You was told you were slaves. Look, you were told you were slaves. That's the whole thing about it. See, now if you don't know the language,
Frank,
you always accept that. What?
Frank, I'm trying to cut us off, Frank. Frank's trying to
Now we is about to get up out of here. But what I was saying is, listen, if you can't speak the language, then you can't connect yourself back to everything that wants.
That's it. That's
you
it.
will
That's
always
it. The
believe
language,
that you was what they told you was in school, a slave.
But the language
always
is also
know that.
the language is also a metaphor for everything else.
Yeah.
You don't know who you are. You have no idea. But I don't think that stops with black people. I don't think that stops with whites. Or I think because we're so fragmented that's it. It's everybody.
I don't know nobody past my first grandma.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know my great grandma and them, but I don't even. But look, it again, it cuts down the goddamn who at my time, right? If I'm 3 and I can walk down the hallway and see grandma and granddad, great grandma and grandma, what they did, who they were, how they was, I get a sense of what I am, right? Of who and where I came from. How the fuck am I gonna know anything if my great granddad is found on somebody's step, let alone stole from his land and language was changed, right? I'm sever, right? Even if when you get a connection, nigga, sever. Right? Even if when you get an inclination of what you thought might have been, sever, because you probably gonna hit a wall. Probably gonna hit a wall somewhere. And so I don't know, Will, if that is a everybody thing. Right? Because even when you think about some of the Spanish people, Mexican people, they have their connection to their ancestors. Right? Africans have some kind of connection to their ancestors. Right, and
they was wiped out too.
But what is that? What man? What does
that mean, nigga?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like that. What I mean is that because I was definitely going to use those words. It does sound crazy out loud, but no. But the thing is, I understand the importance of understanding where you're from. That's where my pride comes from. Like I think about either as petty as my stature. I think about what nigga was that nigga out here in these streets for that long, that big for that long. You know what I mean? That they got down to me, you know? But I think it's more so like, I don't want to make it like a crutch though, because the fucked up shit that comes with it, it just hurts. It makes it harder to move in a world where no one gives a fuck about like the other shit. You know what I mean? No one cares about I'm happy because I'm black and da-da-da-da. Why the fuck would I expect them to care when I'm like, yo, I'm sad because my ancestors went through this?
Yeah,
and it all just... It's definitely trauma. It's trauma.
It's passed on. But my thing is, they have a rehab for everything except for trauma. And that's the shit that sticks with you more than anything, more than a fucking
self-healed. Trauma's a
inner reflection. They're going to rehab for your trauma.
Yeah. But when you keep trying, they got to speak. You got to speak about it and get it out. People got to take ownership from what they did and make amends. See, that's the part that they don't want to do. That's what's dragging the shit out. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't want to admit your faults.
That's why they're trying to come up with all these ways of trying to bury the history
or justify
really
it in some way. Justify, because that's what this shit is. Every week I keep talking about like, yo, you know, they trying to switch it up a little bit.
But they about to though.
But no. But here's the thing: it's probably the truth. But the fact that you didn't give it to me before, you're giving it to me now. So now you just trying to solve. Oh, okay, I get it.
Well, look, we're gonna get these takeaways, man. Listen.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
Frank over there. Frank came back and cut the show short.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Now we out. But look, we will start these takeaways. Listen, I'm gonna just tell people like this: you can't control the system, but you can control how you react to it. Just think about that. You can control that aspect of it. All right? That's it.
That's a bar. That is the bar.
What do you got,
I'll
Will?
take it. Hey, love on everybody. Have a wonderful day. Hey, Pepe, let's have a good day. I have no clue.
Have a good night. Bye. Have a good night. Pay your bills.
Bye.
What Hero said, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it, right? Like I said earlier, in the beginning of this, I said the same event can happen to a group of people, and then these people in group A will allow it to affect them and become victims and destroy their lives and be thinking bad about it their whole life. People in group B will use that, whatever it was, to learn lessons, grow from it, become better people. Group B, no matter what's happened to you, you can overcome. You can, heal from within. Go seek, what's it called? Talk to a doctor, whatever the case have you. But you can make the choice to be a better person and to move forward in your life. That's my takeaway for the night.
Similar. First responsibility, first of all. Unify and thrive, second of all. And Will, you can't love everybody. You can't stand on the fence and pick a side, nigga.
You gonna get me? Hey, 1 week you gonna get me. 1 week you gonna get me. Not today, bud.
You are the observer and being observed, right? Watch yourself. Say I'm gonna do some shit, and then don't do it. And then say you can do some shit, then do it, and see what happens. Try to think about what you want to do, and then try to do the shit, right? You are the observer. Observing. You observing the observer, nigga. You watching shit through here, but you ain't here watching the shit. Remember that. So you would star your own movie, goddammit. Act like it. That's pretty much it, man.
On that note, we'll be back here next Wednesday, 8:30. So 8:30 our new start time.
Yeah, sounds good.
I like 8:30. I love 8:30.
Okay, yeah. So we get some of the night back. All right. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, all the things. Buy the books. Buy the masks.